Hey everyone, this is Dimitri Pergamonic from MarketChameleon.com. In this video, I want to demonstrate a tool how you could analyze a stock's historical earnings performance from the perspective potentially how high or how low can a stock move from the previous day's close. And a use case could be if you're looking at a straddle or a strangle and you want to calculate the probability of the stock moving in either direction far enough to cover the cost of the straddle or cover the cost of the strangle. You may want to take a look at history to see how often did the stock move far enough at any point of the day to cover the cost of that premium. And what we're going to do here is use Meta as an example. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on this earnings move to the high or low of the day. So let's click on that. And what this shows us is if we use the day, the closing price, the day right before the earnings were announced, and then we compared that closing price to the next day's high or low of the day, what is that percentage move? And we're taking the larger one, to the high or to the low, and we're measuring that percentage move to see how far could it potentially stretch. So we divided it up into two sections. One is to the high of the day, and one is to the low of the day. And these bars over here shows the magnitude of the move, and the green bar is telling us that this move was to the high, and the red bar is showing us the move is to the low. So, for example, in Meta, we could see that on average, to the high of the day, the move was 8.6%, with the best move being 28.8%, the worst 0.5%, and the median move is 7.3%. If we wanted to measure to the low of the day, we see that on average, the move was down 7.4%. So here we can see that the moves to the upside were actually by a bigger magnitude on average than the moves to the downside. So it's a little bit skewed towards the upside. To the worst move to the downside was negative 27%. So kind of close. We could see that Meta can move, and sometimes very violently, after earnings. And the median move to the low is 4.9%. So if we come down here and use this calculator, we could get the probability of touch. In other words, if we were look from a historical perspective, so if we were looking at a straddle, let's say that was 10%. Okay, so we're looking at a straddle that you're buying the call, you're buying the put, and to cover that premium, the stock has to move 10% to break even and above 10% to be profitable at expiration. So let's take a look at any time during the day following earnings, how often does the stock move by 10%? Okay, so we're going to recalculate that, and you could see that 29%, the probability of it moving by more than 10% at any point of the day is 29%. Okay, so 10% move is does not happen that frequently, but obviously it does happen sometimes. And there's a 29% historical probability of touching that 10%. And if we come up here and we want to narrow down the data, we can see how often did that in the last 2 years or 4 years. If we want to look at it by quarter, we could look at it by second quarter or third quarter. And when you select these filters, all the data and stats will update based on the filter selected. So hopefully this was helpful, everyone, and hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks.